911, what is your emergency?
There's been a horrible accident going south on Court, going west on Court Street before Missouri, between Highland and Missouri.
Okay. Okay, is it closer to Highland or Missouri?
Missouri.
Closer to Missouri.
It's horrible.
Okay, I've got fire rescue on the way out there. What city is that in? Okay,
The National Auto Body Council is working across the United States with collision industry partners and local first responders to better understand the newer vehicle technologies and safety concerns at the scene of a vehicle accident to help potentially save lives. Our families and friends may someday be in need of this vital information being made available to our local heroes. Companies and people in industries including insurers, rental companies, parts and materials vendors, paint manufacturers, and collision repair facilities are working together to pass on the latest in auto manufacturing technology to those who respond to traffic accidents in our communities. We realized that a community service program like the First Responders Emergency Extrication Class could be delivered by its members to local markets and communities across the United States. Small, independent repairers to large multi-shop organizations can now work with others in the automotive collision repair industry and their communities to help potentially save lives.
The importance of being involved with the National Auto Body Council is trying to provide a program to the community through the First Responders Emergency Extrication Program that helps us improve the image of our industry. We accomplish that by working with industries like the insurance industry, the rental car industry, parts suppliers, material suppliers. Everybody comes together to make that happen. So on a personal level, I know that I've been affected by a car accident in my life, and I know that a lot of people involved throughout the industry have had that same experience. So it hits home with me. I know there's a lot of people that that's value to, and that may affect somebody in the future. So what we're doing together in the collision industry and the information that we're providing to these firefighters and EMTs is of huge value, huge value. So being involved as a body shop or being involved on a committee with the Nabc, marketing, membership, whatever that is, has a huge value to hopefully what we can accomplish in the future.
But the biggest value for us is we're all volunteer. We don't get a lot of training in extrication, so anytime we can get it, it's great. Most definitely it's going to save time, because when once we've trained, gone through the classes, when you get on the scene, it's going to be, you're going to kind of almost react to what you've learned, kind of the processes, and you can kind of train. I mean, we'll train with equipment, but it's getting to know, how to use equipment and the best process and method to go about doing the extrication. I have a new respect for airbags tonight, because I've never seen one go off. I just from a distance, just as a passerby, but never right there with the airbag gone off, and the force and the impact that those have is pretty amazing. So it obviously is a benefit for the drivers and the passengers, but it's very dangerous for somebody that's not working in the right positions, knowing what those airbags are going to do when they do deploy. Yeah, most definitely, and it's a big advantage.
The NABC works closely with insurance partners who provide late model vehicles for demonstration and demolition to show and tell how the newest technologies can affect rescue procedures. Once the extrication process is completed, instructors illustrate how these vehicles are designed and which access points should be used or avoided to protect both the first responder and the vehicle occupants. Both airbag and restraint systems are also demonstrated to show how the recent technology should behave during a collision.
The value for us is that the way this class is taught, it's for beginners, and it also teaches through the whole spectrum of extrication, so that we can bring folks. The people that we brought to this class had anywhere from 1 to 20 years of experience, and so in this class meets their needs, because it addresses all skill levels. And with that, also, I love the free flow. Wasn't someone sitting there talking to us and telling us. It also was ideas coming from the classroom, sharing stories, sharing experiences, and just new things to look for, new hazards, and and even if a person has been doing this for 20 years, they're still going to find that it changes every day. And so basically, I'm not saying a 20-year person's experience is null and void, but to stay current, you're constantly having to go to classes like this. And this is we drove 6 hours to get here because of the benefit of it.
Well, the way I view this program is just an opportunity for Progressive to contribute to the industry that we participate in, which is auto body repair. So that's what we do. We insure our customers, and when they have an accident, we want to ensure that they are able to get their cars fixed. That's ultimately what we do. When you have an accident, the customer sometimes has to be removed from the vehicle by our firefighters and our other emergency personnel. And the auto industry has changed a lot over the years. I've been in it for 20 years, and it's come a long way in my 20 years, and it's come an even longer way since the first car was built. And it's actually pretty complicated. There's a lot of things within a car anymore that are pretty technical. And it's a good opportunity for us to be able to provide the firefighters with some real live product to work on so they can better understand what they have to do to remove a person from a vehicle without injuring themselves and or the occupants. The value of the partnership overall is really the end customer, and it's the persons driving the vehicles. If they get into an accident, for all of us to be able to come together for the common good of that person or persons. And that's the true value, is being part of the industry instead of isolated from the industry, just being part of it. You guys, the auto body, you fix cars. That's your job. You fix cars, you try and put them back together for the customer as best as possible and get them back on the road when they're fixable. When they're not, we end up with a lot of those. We call those total losses or salvage. And that's an opportunity for us in this situation to get back to the community. So the firefighters have something that they can hands-on touch to learn how to best remove people from the vehicles. And that really is, with all the technology, that's tough to accomplish. I know when we try to select the vehicles, we try to find the right ones and have the right type of interesting technology that they need to learn so that they can be better and more proficient firefighters.
We're in the community, as is all of our insurance partners. We want to give back to the community. They want to give to the community. Really, we can't do it alone. They can't do it alone. It's about people that need extricated from their vehicle more quickly and give them a better chance to live. I mean, that's really at the end of the day what it is. And again, we have a facility that not everybody has. We have relationships with insurance companies that donate vehicles. We have relationships with vendors who can help with food and some of the expenses that are associated with the program. And at the end of the day, it's really just, it's us volunteering to orchestrate a program that is great for our community, good for our industry. Our industry is not one that probably is largely recognized for community involvement, and this is something we can do.
With traffic fatalities on the decline over the past 5 years, the Federal Highway Administration reported that vehicle miles traveled in 2010 increased by over 20 billion miles. Over 32,000 people died in accidents in 2010. You could get involved and be part of an organization to help reduce those numbers even more by joining the NABC as a fellow partner or attending a future event as a local first responder. As membership continues to grow and more industry partnerships are being forged, first responders and ultimately those who are involved in vehicle accidents will benefit from people like us who share our efforts and industry knowledge to help save lives. Thank you from all of us at the National Auto Body Council.